In the last video, I got myself to throw out an ancient miniature pencil that had become so short it wasn't comfortable to write with anymore. I really struggle with throwing out things that still have use in them. As ridiculous as it sounds, it was hard for me to toss that pencil in the trash because that teeny tiny pencil could have been used by a 3-year-old with teeny tiny hands. I also sharpened one of my precious pencils from a unique set I had been keeping pristine for years and years. And I'm so glad I did. Aside from the fact that it's way more comfortable to write with a full-length pencil, I think it's beautiful. I enjoy seeing it and I enjoy the feeling of it in my hand when I write with it. When I use the new pencil, I literally think to myself, I love writing with this pencil. It feels so nice. I'm telling myself these things to activate my brain to feel positive emotions when using the things I like. My hope is that focusing on the positive sensation of using things I like will eventually become more powerful than my fear of ruining things I like. When this pencil was unsharpened and boxed up in a drawer for years, I wasn't appreciating its beauty. I wasn't enjoying the experience of writing with it. Instead, I was torturing myself by using a pencil that was too short, simply because it still had 2.5 inches of graphite left. I want to enjoy my life. For far too long, I've been depressed and isolated by my excess clutter. I've been saving things I really like out of fear of scratching them, or getting them dirty, or ruining them somehow, or breaking up a perfect set. But what's worse, to use the things I like and possibly damage them somehow, or to store the things I like only for them to eventually get lost, buried, forgotten, and damaged in the clutter? Or, pardon me, going morbid for a moment, for me to die and never actually use the things I liked. A number of you commented about how you could relate to this fear of using things and wanting to keep things perfect. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you for giving me the idea to put out a perfectionism challenge for all of us. Find one thing in your stash that you've been too afraid to use. Bust out that precious thing and start using it. Experience the joy of using it. And make a conscious note of the positive feelings you get while using it. Step 4 might seem weird or silly to you, but I want you to really savor the positive feelings for a reason. Because if you're like me, you've been avoiding using this precious thing out of fear of ruining it somehow. And since being in a fearful state has been my norm, recognizing and savoring joy are foreign to me. So I'm deliberately shining a light on those positive feelings. I want those positive feelings to become my norm. I'm already using my new pencil, but I'm going to start using something else for this challenge. I got this interesting 2D bag while I was in Taiwan several years ago, but I was afraid to use it because it's light in color, and God forbid I get some dirt on it. So it's been hanging in my closet. The bag I would use instead is this canvas tote, because if this gets dirty, I just toss it in the washing machine. This bag is very practical and great for lots of situations, especially if I'm going to be putting it on the ground or having to throw it around, but it's so meh compared to the other bag. Why did I even buy this if I'm not going to use it? I'm always trying to get the best price on things to save money, but buying something and not using it is a complete waste of money. I'm going to start using the 2D bag and enjoying it and consciously noting how good it feels to use something nice. But before I do, I want to address this product tag that was on the handle. At first, I couldn't figure out how to remove it without just cutting it off. I thought maybe it was like those hospital bracelets that can't be undone once they're snapped on. So I thought maybe the manufacturers intended for it to stay on the bag, but I think the bag looks nicer without it. The thought of having to cut this off gave me anxiety because it's a cool matte rubber material. I think I shared before how much I love matte finish. Matte paper shopping bags. Always choose matte photo finish over glossy. Anyway, the font is also really cute. Even though I didn't want the tag on the bag, I couldn't get myself to damage it. What is that about? I finally got the tag off without having to resort to scissors, but what to do with it now? Normally, I would save this for no particular reason other than it came with the bag. It's got scalloped edges, a cool texture, a cute font. I'm going to put on my big girl pants though and let this go because I don't want to throw it in a drawer to be dealt with 10 years from now in a dreaded decluttering session. I want to break this endless cycle of cluttering and decluttering. I have a box of things going to the kids' art studio, and this will be joining those items. I'd like to think an imaginative child would have fun turning this into a handle, a tail, a mustache. I hope you'll join me in this challenge, and I want to stress that the item you choose doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. You saw in the last video how I kept using a 30-year-old pencil nub. I wouldn't have sharpened one of my new pencils if I hadn't talked through it with you all. Believe me, I've got 99-cent store type of stuff that is harder for me to break out to use than a nice handbag. And I promise you, I'll be sharing that with you in the next level challenge. You can choose anything, a new toothbrush, a favorite sticker, a new pair of underwear. I defy anyone to tell me you don't experience joy putting on a new pair of underwear. That fresh, elastic snap. This is not about the cost of the item. It's about breaking through the fear of using something new or nice. By not using nice things out of fear of messing them up somehow, there's a very damaging byproduct. And that is the message I'm sending to myself, that I'm not worth it, that I don't deserve to use nice things, that I don't deserve to live in a comfortable home, that I don't deserve to have family and friends over. Those detrimental messages chip away at my dignity and fuel my depression further, which only makes my hoarding worse because I feel like I only deserve to use old things or broken things. And that shit has got to stop. So please join me in this challenge, and please, please, please share in the comments what you're breaking out to use and what positive feelings you experience using it. Can't wait to read.